Hey YouTube, I'm back. I am doing this video for, there's a bee really close to me. Bees really don't do anything to you unless you bother them, but I'm just scared. Alright, let me stop being a punk, okay? So I'm back and I'm doing this video for the second time because CapCut and my computer did me dirty. So I was gonna have to edit the whole video again and I was not doing that. So I just decided to re-record the whole video. Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep looking that way. It's really close. It's really just minding its business though. Like, it's not worried about me whatsoever. So today I'm making a video about my PMOS journey. Bro, you see, they be bullying me. Bro, it's back. I'm gonna have to move. I wanted to share you guys my journey, how I learned that I had PCOS and how I manage it now. So first I'm gonna explain what PCOS, PMOS now stands for. So the term used to be PCOS, which stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, and now it's called PMOS, which stands for polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. So the old name used to be misleading because it implied that the main issue was ovarian cyst, and it's just so much deeper than that. So now, I'm reading off of Google right now, the terminology highlights multiple hormone polyendocrine systems and metabolic factors like insulin resistance instead of focusing solely on the reproductive organs. So that means that we can possibly get treatment for more than just the ovarian cyst and things like that. So there are 4 types of PCOS. I'm gonna put a picture right here, and you could have 1, you could have 2, you could have all 4 of these PCOS types, and personally I feel like I have all 4, but it's not as severe. Like, I'm able to manage all my symptoms because of my lifestyle and all the changes that I've made. So I would like to start with birth control, because a lot of people that have no or little knowledge about PMOS think that birth control has nothing to do with it, but for me at least it had almost everything to do with it. So I got on birth control when I was 19, and I got on the worst possible ever birth control, which is the double shot. So I was on that for about, I want to say, a year maybe, and I learned that the double shot, since it goes in your bloodstream, it affects your your bone marrow. Your bone marrow is where your blood cells are made, and it's not like 100% scientifically proven, but there is little, like, if you do your research deep in there, like, you'll see ultimately it affects your bone marrow. And I realized that because my lab work came back low in white blood cells, and it kept coming back like that until I got off birth control. And then it took a little time to get back to normal, but that was something that also made me question, like, is it my birth control? Because, you know, it's going in my bloodstream, it's saying that my white blood cells are low. So, you know, it just made me think, and I came to that conclusion. I ended up getting off birth control and attempting to track my period, and that didn't really work because my cycle was everywhere. Like, I was not ovulating when I was supposed to, and it was just off. And then I started missing periods. This was already maybe like a couple of months after getting off birth control. So I was like, okay, that's never happened to me. My period was always regular before birth control. And then being on birth control for a year, not getting my period, and then going back to no birth control, and probably got my period like twice. After that, when I started missing my period, that's when I went to the gyno, and at first they couldn't see anything wrong. Then I didn't trust them. I went to a different gyno and they did all the tests, they did ultrasound, they did everything, and they found that I did have PCOS because my hormone levels were off, and they were able to diagnose me and gave me some options. So they gave me the option to get on the pill so that my period would be regulated, but I was like, no, like this is why I'm here in the first place. So they ended up giving me an oral hormone regulator, which is called medroxyprogesterone, and this just induced my period. So it wasn't birth control at all. That was fine for the moment. Then I decided to go with a more, I guess, natural form of that supplement, and I landed on myo-inositol. I did my research and I ended up buying it on Amazon. I'll put right here the one that I got. So besides the myo-inositol, I started just being more active and eating better. That I feel like made the biggest difference. I stopped eating so much dairy because that is like one of the main hormonal foods. I tried to get like more organic stuff and organic eggs, and then I locked in on the gym. Like I was not playing. I was in the gym at least 5 times a week, and I felt like I looked the best I ever did. You know, I look the best now, but back then I was like, oh, I'm doing this. Like I'm looking better. My goal was to gain weight, and I was doing that, and it was going to the right places. I was living my best life, and I felt better in general. Like something that I didn't know, it was part of those PCOS symptoms, being exhausted, and fatigue, all that was like gone. Like I did not feel that at all when I made those lifestyle changes. So I knew something was getting better, like something was changing. And then I got another test to see if my cycle was going back to normal, and they saw that I wasn't ovulating when I was supposed to. I did the test 14 days after my period, which is when you're supposed to be ovulating, but I wasn't ovulating. So I wasn't sure what that really meant. At the time, I just thought, I have PCOS, I'm not ovulating, I must be infertile. I didn't want to think about it too much because I had a trip coming up, so I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy myself. And boy, did I enjoy myself. I had a little too much fun, and I came back pregnant, and I ended up finding out when I was 6 weeks pregnant after not getting my period. I was like, okay, like what's going on? How your breast gets sore. I had every period/pregnancy symptom, but no period. So I took the test, and yeah, it came back so quick. The lines showed up like this. I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. So I had a beautiful pregnancy. Like I cannot complain. My first trimester was a little rough, but it's like that for everybody, so almost everybody. But overall, I had no complications. My blood work was actually perfect this time. I did have some concerns because, PCOS, you think, oh my gosh, like my body's not functioning right. Like, is my body gonna be able to grow a child? And yeah, my body did just fine. So if you're in that boat, if you're in the same boat, you have PCOS and you want to conceive, just know that it's not impossible. So after my baby, I didn't want to hop right on birth control, but after a couple of months, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna pull the trigger and try to find a good, less hormonal birth control. So my gyno recommended the Nuva ring, which is this little tiny ring looking, it's like silicone ring looking thing, and it goes in there, up in there for 3 weeks, and then you take it out in the 4th week and you have your period, and then you put a new one back in. So at first I was iffy because anything going up there is like, like I don't even use tampons, some of that, but I find that that's the best one that I've tried so far. And I've tried, well, I've only tried the double shot, which is the worst one, and I tried the patch, which I didn't feel like it was doing anything because it would just come off my skin. So but yeah, I've been on the NuvaRing ever since, and I love it. I have to say, if you have PCOS and you are looking for a not non-hormonal, because it does still have hormones, but less hormonal birth control, go with the NuvaRing. So postpartum did hit me a little harder than I thought. I didn't really realize that I was going through it until after I started changing a few things. But when I finally got back in the gym, I was like, okay, it's hard because I had all these cravings. I had gotten so used to eating anything and everything. So my symptoms were coming back a little bit, and I just decided to log back in. So I logged back in, and I did what I had to do. I stopped eating all the crap I used to eat. I started getting all the organic foods again, and my body started slowly coming back to who I was before birth, before pregnancy. Listen, there's no excuses. I know y'all be out buying bottles, buying weed, buying all this stuff. Put that money into your own body. Buy the groceries, the organic groceries, and stop complaining that you're not looking the way you want to look, or that you're not feeling the way you want to feel, because it's all what you intake and what you put out too. Because if you're not active, you're just being a couch potato every day. Don't expect to feel better. So I'm going to close out this video by saying that if you have PCOS, just know that you're not alone. Like, there are so many women that have been dealing with the same symptoms and don't even know. I hope you guys found comfort, knowledge in this video. I don't know. So if you're looking for a fitness coach that is specialized in postpartum or PCOS or both, let me know. I'm willing to work with every single one of you, online and in person. And yeah, let's get these goals. Let's get you guys feeling good and confident, and I hope to see you guys and meet you guys soon.